for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Second, to consider the name of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal or to be independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Third, to disobey the order of the spiritual master. Four, to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. Five, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. Six, to give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. Seven, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. Eight, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activity karma kanda. 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10, to not have a complete faith in chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success of Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sangha conference call. Before we move on to the next part of the session, which is a special class today, may I know who all joined this morning?
Hare Krishna. Go ahead, Mataji. Please go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Nityanandrika Mataji, my humble obeisances to you and all assembled devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj's Param Bhavani Shama Devi Dasi from Baltimore, Maryland. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Param Bhavani Shama Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Benita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. This is Sundarangi Radha Devi Dasi from Canada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Sundarangi Radha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association every single day and chanting so beautifully. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Kandarika Mataji, Danvat Pranam to you and all the devotees. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Assembled devotees. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna Mohini Lakshmi Mataji. Very nice to hear your voice, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association every day. Welcome to the call. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. All glories Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj is my humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Rani. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association. Welcome to the call. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today is a special day, appearance of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So we have a special class by her Grace Lalitangi Radha Mataji. Before we hand over the call to Mataji, I request Param Pavani Shama Mataji to please take over and give a brief introduction.
Hare Krishna and dear Mataji, thank you so much for the opportunity of this seva. And dear devotees, our today's speaker, our Grace Lalitangi Radha Mataji, is an initiated disciple of His Holiness Japataka Swami Maharaj. She was introduced in Krishna consciousness in her high school days in Coimbatore, India. During her high school, she attended a Bhagavad Gita contest and won a prize to go to Mayapur and got inspired and took up chanting 16 rounds and later got initiated from His Holiness Srila Japataka Swami Maharaj in 1995 at Mayapur. Very soon, she started attending the temple programs and became a very enthusiastic youth leader in ISKCON, influencing many souls to seriously take up the path of Krishna consciousness. She is an electronics and communication engineer and worked as a lecturer in CIT and PSG College, Coimbatore, and then with BSNL. During her college days, she was actively serving ISKCON Coimbatore under the guidance of His Holiness Bhakti Vinod Maharaj in outreach programs, temple festivals, college programs, and cultural programs. After her marriage in 2003, she had served many temples and congregation, initially at ISKCON Silicon Valley and later at ISKCON Santiago, Chile, where she was conducting Bhakti Briksha in Spanish, and then in Manchester, UK, and India. From 2013, she has been living and serving in Charlotte, where she was active in conducting Bhakti Briksha kids class, book distribution, and coordinating outreach programs. Right now, she lives in Toronto, Canada, and serving New Remuna Dham. Her Grace Lalitangi Radha Mataji has been an active leader in the congregational development, cultivating devotees in different age groups and conducting various Bhakti Riksha programs, reading calls for Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and several other scriptures from time to time. She is active with book distribution, kids classes, adult classes, youth classes, festival coordinations in various yatras in India, South America, USA, etc. She has been invited as a guest speaker on various famous forums in India, USA, and all around the world, owing to her expertise in the Bhagavad Gita and devotee cultivation. Mataji is one of the chief persons responsible for the inception of this Bhakti Sangha Japa group, and she has been instrumental in keeping it running successfully with her vigilant and valuable inputs. She conducts the Madhava class for teens on Bhakti Sangha and teaches them Bhagavad Gita. She was also a guest speaker during the camp for other age groups like the Govinda and Damodara groups. She attends our early morning Bhagavatam classes regularly and is also one of our Bhagavatam backup speaker and is known for her spontaneous classes. She started the Bhagavad Gita outreach program in Bhakti Sangha, which is running successfully. And she also served as a speaker during the first series of the Bhagavad Gita outreach program. It was a brief introduction about our today's speaker, Her Grace Lalitangi Radha Mataji. Welcome to Mataji. Over to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Parambhavani Shama Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for reading that introduction. Yes, as Preeti Mataji mentioned, now Mataji is back in Charlotte. We have to edit that introduction. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Lalitangi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for accepting this class in the last minute and coming and serving us. Mataji, we are very grateful to you. Over to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Vinita Mataji, for giving me this opportunity. And I mean, it's a more than life-size introduction for me out of your affection and love. What else can I say? I wish by the association of all the devotees, I can serve the Lord, Srila Prabhupada, and our spiritual masters. So we will start today. Today we are glorifying His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Today is his appearance day, 151 appearance days. So we will start with prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदाम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम् ओम तत्सत्. So we will start with the pranam mantras of Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati iti namine. I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at his lotus feet. Sri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayine Prabhave Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Varshabhanavi Devi Daita Dasa, another name of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, who is favored by Srimati Radharani and who is the ocean of transcendental mercy and the deliverer of the signs of Krishna. Madhuryojvala Premadhya Shri Rupa Nuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, the personified energy of Sri Chaitanya's mercy, who deliver devotional service which is enriched with conjugal love of Radha and Krishna, coming exactly in the line of revelation of Srila Rupa Goswami. Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dhinatarine Rupanuga Virudhapa Siddhanta Dvantaharine. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, who are the personified teachings of Lord Chaitanya. You are the deliverer of the fallen souls. You do not tolerate any statement which is against the teachings of devotional service enunciated by Srila Rupa Goswami. So, we know His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, is the Guru of our dear Srila Prabhupada, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. So this is a song written by Prabhupada in the Jaladuta Diary of 1965. Bhagavan Krishner Pada Padme Prarthana. And it is sung very nicely, but I'm just going to read it. we can see the mood of Srila Prabhupada and his glorification of His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Maybe we can all recite together, maybe on, you can join me too. Krishna Taba Punya Habibai. Krishna Taba Punya Habibai. Ye Punya Koribe Jabe Radharani Sukhi Habe. Dhruva Ati Boli Tomatai. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Sachi Sutta Priyati Krishna Sebya Jara Tulanai Se Mohanta Guru Jagater Madhye Uru Krishna Bhakti De Tai Tai Krishna Taba Punyaha Bebai Krishna Taba Punyaha Bebai Tara Icha Balavan Paschate Tan Tan Hoi Jate Gaurange Nam Prithvite Nagaradi Asamudra Nada Nadi Sakale Bole Krishna Ram Krishna Taba Punyaha Bebai Krishna Taba Punyaha Bebai Tahale Ananda Hoy Tabe Hoy Digvijay Chaitanya Kripatishay Maya Dushta Jata Duki Jagate Sabai Sukhi Vaishnaver Icha Purna Hon Krishna Taba Punyaha Bebai Krishna Taba Punyaha Bebai Se karja je kori bhare ajna jadi dhilo more jogyanai ati dinahina tai se tomara kripa magitechi anurupa আজি তুমি সভার প্রবীণা কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্যঃ বেবায় কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্যঃ বেবায় সে কাজে तुम्हारा से शक्ति फैले गुरु से वस्तु मिले जीवना सार्थक जदि हो से सेवा पाइले ताहले सुखी हले तबा संग भाग्यते मिलो कृष्ण तब पुण्यः बेबाय Krishna Taba Punyaha Bebai Tumi Mochira Sati Bulia Maya Lati Kaiyachi Janma Janmantare Aji Puna Yeshu Joga Jadi Hoy Joga Yoga तबे पारी तुम्हें मिली बारे कृष्णा तब पुण्यः बेबाय कृष्णा तब पुण्यः बेबाय तुम्हारा मिलाने भाई आभार से सुख पाए गोचाराने घूरी दिन बोर काटा बाने चूटा चूटी भाने काई लूटा लूटी सेई दिन खाबे हाबे मोर कृष्णा तब पुण्यः बेबाय कृष्णा तब पुण्यः बेबाय आजी से सुविधा हाला तुम्हारा स्मरण भेला বড়ো আশা থাকিলাম তাই, আমি তোমার নিত্য দাসা, তাই করি এতো আশা, তুমি ভিনা অন্য গতি নাই। কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে ভাই, কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে ভাই, এ পুণ্য করিবে যাবে, রাধা রানী সুখী হবে, ধ্রুব অতি বলিত মাতায়। It's a beautiful song. Later, we can share the YouTube link. The translation is so wonderful, so we can read it. Refrain: O brothers, O brother, the Supreme Lord Krishna will bestow virtue upon you. But he will do this only when Srimati Radharani first becomes pleased with you. This I surely declare to you. Sri Srimad Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura, who is very dear to Lord Gauranga, the son of Mother Sachi, is unparalleled in his service to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. He is that great saintly spiritual master, most magnanimous within this universe, who bestows devotion to Krishna in various places throughout the world. His desire is very powerful, and thus he is causing the holy name of Lord Gauranga to spread throughout all the countries of the Western world, in all the cities, towns, and villages on the earth, extending to all the oceans, rivers, and streams. Everyone may chant the holy names of Krishna and Rama. Thus, all directions will be conquered by a flood of transcendental ecstasy, flowing with the excessive mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When all the miserable living entities that have been corrupted by Maya become happy, then the Vaishnava's desire is fulfilled. Although my Guru Maharaj ordered me to accomplish this mission, I am unworthy to do it, being very fallen and incompetent. That being the case, O Lord Krishna, your mercy is today arising in a befitting manner to make me become worthy, for you are the wisest of all. If you bestowed your divine power, then one attains the factual substance, which is service to the spiritual master, and life becomes successful. If that service is obtained, then one becomes truly satisfied and ultimately have received your association due to good fortune. As stated by Prahalad Maharaj to Lord Nrsimhadeva in the Srimad Bhagavatam 7.9.28. Thus, by associating with material desires one after another, I was following the general populace by falling into a blind well full of snakes. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, then the great sage Narada Muni kindly accepted me as his disciple and instructed me how to achieve the transcendental position similar to his own. How could I ever leave the service of your servant? O Lord Krishna, you are my eternal companion. Forgetting you, I have suffered the kicking of Maya birth after birth. If today the chance to meet you occurs again, then surely I'll be able to rejoin you. Oh, my dear brother, in your company, I will experience great joy once again. Wandering about the pastures and fields, I will pass the entire day with you in tending the cows, joking with you, and frolicking throughout so many forests of Braja. I will enjoy pastimes of stealing and eating one another's lunch. When will that day be mine? Today, that remembrance of being with you came to me in a very nice way. Feeling great longing, I called out for you, O Lord Krishna. Only because I am your eternal servant do I desire your association so much. Except for you, I have no other refuge. This is one of the two songs Srila Prabhupada wrote while he was on Jaladuta in 1965. So we can see, the power of Srila Prabhupada's association and mercy, and his desire to follow the instruction of his spiritual master. So he glorifies Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur as the one who is unparalleled in his service to Supreme Lord Krishna. And he had the deep desire to spread the holy name in the cities, towns, and villages on the earth, extending to all the oceans, rivers, and streams. Asamudra Nada Nadi. So everyone may chant the holy names of Krishna and Rama. So, and then Srila Prabhupada, it is written in 1965. So he's saying that he ordered me to accomplish this mission and I'm unworthy to do it. I'm requesting your mercy, O the Lord. But we can see what today we are glorifying His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti, Srila Prabhupada and Srila Prabhupada's Guru is because of the efforts of our Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was born in 1874 to Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhagavati Devi. When Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was in Puri working as a magistrate, so he was praying to the Lord that I have to accomplish this mission. If we see the times of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and the life history of Bhaktivinoda Thakur himself, he's glorified as Prahlad of the Asura Kula. Means none in the family or the village or his contemporaries were devotees. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, being a genius preacher, he was recognized as genius by the British themselves, and also he was the one known as the one who's introduced English education in the state of Odisha. And we know that the Britishers built a railway line exclusively for him to reduce the time of travel from his home to the court, because what other judges used to take so many hours, he could solve the cases in minutes. But if we read his biography, we can understand that he thoroughly studied so many scriptures, including Christianity, to find out what is the goal of life. Who's the delivering person now, and what am I supposed to do? So it is said that to obtain one copy of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, he had to struggle a lot, one genuine copy of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So after analyzing and going through so many literatures himself, then when he read Chaitanya Charitamrita, he came to a conclusion that this is the epitome of all the philosophies, giving one love of Godhead so sublime, so profound, and nothing more than this. And then he dedicated himself to preaching the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wherever he went. And we also know that Bhaktivinoda Thakur was the pioneer of preaching, congregational preaching. He started the Bhakti Vriksha system and the Namahata preaching system in Bengal, which is even now current in many villages. But many of our devotees would remember from Bengal that they'd grown up listening to the kirtans. So he set up such a system that I think there was more than 108 times 108 groups of village groups of Namahata and Bhakti Vriksha throughout Bengal. So when he was as a magistrate in Puri temple, we knew that he corrected a lot of measures that was not proper in the temple of Puri. He straightened the system of worship, and he prayed to the Lord to give him a ray of Vishnu so that he can continue his mission. And then was he was Lord Jagannath asked him to pray to Bimala Devi, and then was born Bimal Prasad, the child. And this child, when he was a few months old, his mother took him on top of the Ratha. Having been the wife of the magistrate, she had the opportunity to go on top of the Ratha and place the child at the lotus feet of Lord Jagannath himself. And I heard in the lectures that the child put his hand extending to touching the lotus feet of Jagannath, and as though accepting the worship of the child, a garland from Lord Jagannath fell on the child, Bimal Prasad Datta. So this was an indication that he's blessed by the Lord and sent by the Lord for this purpose. So even when his very early days, once when he took a mango and he ate it, he was about to eat it, he was mildly chided by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, his father, telling that all the fruits and everything that's brought in the home is meant for offering for the Lord and has to be accepted as the prasadam. So this event, which happened in the childhood, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur remembered throughout his life. And whenever a mango was offered to him, he would say, "No, I can't take it because I am an offender." So we can see from this, how he was from the spiritual world. And when he was 7 years old, by the time he was 7 years old, he had memorized all the 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita. And not only that, he would give lecture on each one of them for an hour or more. So he was known as a very famous scholar, and he started the Sanskrit school. And many prominent citizens of Calcutta would send their students for that school. And he was a scholar not only in Sanskrit, grammar, and all aspects of Sanskrit language, but also in mathematics and astronomy and astrology as well. So he wrote the book Surya Siddhanta, also when he was very young. And so he was given the name Siddhanta Saraswati. And everybody, just when he hears once, he is able to remember that throughout. And even at the fag end of his life, he would remember those books and the teachings that he read when he was in the childhood. So and then he started assisting his father, going on tours with him, and he visited many holy places and helped him in his preaching mission. And one time there was a conference to find out who is superior, whether a Brahmana or a Vaishnava. So since Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur wasn't able to go there, he sent his son Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who visited that conference, and he was first talking about the glories of Brahmana, what it is to be a Brahmana. And those who were there were very surprised and pleased that he's glorifying the Brahmana. And then he started to speak about what it is to be a Vaishnava. So he was, he established with all quotes from the Shastras and irrefutable in arguments. That's why he's called Simha Guru. Many apasampradayas would run away seeing his presentations. And he proved that the Vaishnava is much, much glorious than a Brahmana who is born in the Brahmana family. So this is the teaching of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. If you see, even in the history books, I remember reading it when I was in the school, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is known as a social revolutionary because he named Haridas Thakur, who was born in a Muslim family, as Nama Acharya. And Namacharya was given the Shraddha remnants by Advaita Acharya. And we cannot imagine what the condition was 500 years ago. Caste consciousness was so much there. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave out this philosophy that Kiba Vipra, Kiba Nyasi, Shudra Kenanai, Say Guru, Jai Say Krishna Tattva Veta, Say Guru Hoy. So whoever he is, wherever he is born, doesn't matter. If he knows Krishna's philosophy, he is fit to be a guru. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur had exemplified that in his teachings. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur preached and also practiced that those of, regardless of the birth, whoever was willing to surrender their life and follow the four regulative principles and chant and worship the Lord as a Vaishnava, he gave them Brahmana thread and made them Brahmanas. It was not an easy thing. If we know the history of India at that time, 100 years ago, 150, 120 years ago. So he was a revolutionary, and he did that. And in 1918, he started Gaudiya Math. And before that, I also heard in the lectures that for about more than close to 9 years, he stayed in the holy dham of Navadvip. At that time, Mayapur was called as Miyapur because there was a saint, Muslim saint there known as Miya. And people wouldn't, people called the Yoga Peeth as a very strange place because whatever the seeds you sow, only Tulasi would grow there. And then they would hear weird sounds of kirtan and other things. They thought it was a haunted place. So such was the condition of Navadvip. And we know that Bhaktivinoda Thakur, with his maps and his extensive knowledge and his research work, he found out the exact birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The river Ganga changed course over a period of time, and also many things because of not being actively preached. The years, a century after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates spread the movement, we can see that now even in people in India, they would ask, who's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? I have not heard of him. So that was, so in that place, in that time and era, Bhaktivinoda Thakur could see what is the Yoga Peeth and what is the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he got his Guru Jagannath Das Babaji to confirm that as well. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur lived there chanting 192 rounds a day because he wanted to complete his vow of chanting 1 billion names of Krishna before he started the preaching movement. At that time, people there, it used to take 22 hours or like that. So he used 1 lota for everything, for taking bath and eating very frugally, and dedicated to the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Then in 1918, he started the Gaudiya Math. So the Gaudiya Math is an organization dedicated to spreading the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we can imagine in the pre-independence days in 1918 to 1940, how it was, so much turmoil politically in India and so much subjugation, so much poverty. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur opened 64 branches of Gaudiya Math throughout India in many, many prominent cities, traveling all over in trains and buses and preaching to masses. And 64 branches filled with devotees who were dedicating their lives. And they were all from different backgrounds, not only from one community. So much so that Subhash Chandra Bose, who wanted to make an army, he went to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur to ask for help. Send your men for my army. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur replied that, look at them, they're fasting and they're chanting and they wouldn't do any good for your army in a way that he could accept. So he was vehemently against the Siddhantas, or misrepresentation of the pure philosophy. This happens time and again. Sakala neha mahata yogo nashta parantapa. We can see that. And without the efforts of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and efforts of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, we wouldn't have got the pure mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as it is now. So there were so many apasampradayas and so many fake incarnations claiming to be Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, cheating the innocent public and misrepresenting the philosophy, and taking the pastimes of Radha and Krishna to be very cheap. So that is why Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's one more instruction was, we always worship the pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna. And those are not for imitating or for discussion in the sadhaka level. So we can see that both Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada hardly spoke much on the intimate pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna. And before that, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, under the instruction of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, took initiation from Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Bhaktivinoda Thakur told his son, if you don't take initiation from him, your life is spoiled. So he would ask Babaji Maharaj, please give me initiation. And Babaji Maharaj would say that, okay, let me ask Gauranga Mahaprabhu. It was not uncommon for our acharyas and many in the line to talk to the deities in person and converse with them. So then, after some time, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur came and asked, did you talk to him? He would say, no, I forgot. And like this, many times he asked, and he said some reason, because he felt himself unqualified to initiate such a scholarly Vaishnava. Then finally, they were meeting on a bridge, which was a single line bridge on the roaring Mother Ganga. And he said, if you don't initiate me, I would jump into Ganga this time. And he was not threatening, and he was meaning to do that. Then he was initiated by Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, and it is said that Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj would listen to his lectures and see him, be very happy about his presentation of the philosophical truths. And we know he's known as Simha Guru, or he was uncompromising in presenting. Like suppose someone tells me that, you are a bogus and, you are making a show of a devotee, and whatever you're chanting, 99% of it is, your mind is somewhere, and you're not a Vaishnava. Imagine, listening to this time and again. So this was how Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur lectured to everyone, uncompromising. Because a guru means one has to cut the hard knot of ignorance. So ignorance is so deep in the heart, and we are so attached to holding on to the ignorance. So it's with the sharp words that the guru cuts the knot. So people used to be very scared of him. And he wrote this poem, Vaishnava Ke. Dushta Mana Tumi Kisera Vaishnava. That's a very beautiful song, a very, very beautiful poem. And there's a book also. And the commentary, the purport is written by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. So very nice. He's speaking to his mind. Dushta Mana Tumi Kisera Vaishnava. Oh mind, how come you are a devotee? You're just making a show of devotion while cheating innocent public and you yourself. And the verse after verse, it's talking to the mind. And the purports are very heavy, but it's very true. Otherwise, how is it possible to conquer the enemy with whom we are thinking that the enemy is ourselves? throughout many lifetimes. So Srila Prabhupada explains that the subtle body is the one which carries, even in this life, from babyhood to boyhood to youth. So what changes is the subtle body, the mind. And then the mind carries from one stage to another stage of the body. And at the end of the life, this mind is been carrying us to another life. And like this, we are bound to the mind, life after life after life, millions and millions of lifetimes. So it is not easy to cut that and get attached to Krishna instead of our own mind. So he's written this beautiful poem, Vaishnava K. How come, how well, are you a devotee at all? Talking to his own mind and explaining to everyone else. So there's so many pastimes, how he's so merciful. And whenever Srila Prabhupada was asked to talk about his, please tell us something about your spiritual master, he would say, what can I say about him? He's a Vaikuntha man. And one time they were offering Annakut ceremony. Annakut, we all know, after Diwali, the Govardhan Puja, where heaps of mounds of rice is offered in front of the Lord, like how they offered in front of Giri Govardhan, and Krishna accepted it personally. So this ceremony was going on in one of his temples, and that one stray dog came inside and took some bite out of that Annakut. So this was directly offered to the Lord, and a dog had eaten it. So the devotees, they were confused what to do about this. So they went and asked Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur what to do about that. So he said, okay, take me there. And then he asked them, where did the dog have a bite from? With this place? Is it this place? Is it exactly this place? And then he took a mount from that and took prasadam. So this, I mean, and many pastimes like this, and 64 temples, marble temples. Imagine in those days, it's not easy to build, pre-independence days of India. And he also took his disciples to parikramas. It is one of those parikramas that Srila Prabhupada got the instruction, that which he got when he first met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in Ulta Danga. That's a place not to be missed. I mean, this time we had the fortune to visit that. They had reconstructed the place in the same way how it was 100 years back when Srila Prabhupada met his Srila Prabhupada. The stairs, the courtyard, and the different pictures. So Srila Prabhupada was forced to come to meet him by his friend. Okay, but Prabhupada had, seen many bogus sadhus, and he was not very much inclined to see sadhus. But his friend insisted, come, for my sake you come. And Srila Prabhupada said that for his sake, because he compelled me, he pulled me. So Prabhupada goes up in the terrace. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is speaking, and Prabhupada and his friend is offering obeisances. And when they are just getting up, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is telling this instruction: you are an educated young man. Why can't you take up this service and preach this Chaitanya Dev's philosophy in English-speaking world? This before, just when he is getting up, the first sight, the first instruction. And then Prabhupada is telling that who will hear our instructions? Now, we are a country under subjugation. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that the process of self-realization is so important and urgent that it cannot wait for any political change. Politics will come and go. And Srila Prabhupada says that there were some arguments. So he's put more arguments, and then he was thoroughly defeated. Srila Prabhupada said, I was so happy to be thoroughly defeated. by my guru. So then he's told that he told his friend that, yes, I really met a sadhu. And then he was feeling that Lord Chaitanya Dev's teachings are in the hands of a right person. So this was in 1922. And Srila Prabhupada said at that time, he was already a married man. He had a son also. So he feels that I wasn't able to join immediately as requested by my Guru Maharaj. Probably I should have done that. He says that. And, but not that he didn't do anything. He was constantly supporting Gaudiya Mutt. He was constantly preaching in his pharmaceutical company. And also when, he opened Jhansi while taking care of his business, his mind was constantly on preaching. So, and he was helping the Mata. He was, inviting sannyasis to his home and doing programs with them. And so Prabhupada was helping in that way. And when he met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in the famous picture of Radha Kund, where Prabhupada is holding his son in his hand and walking, at that time, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, I wish if you ever get money, you print books. This was also a very revolutionary idea at that time. Okay, first of all, preaching is a very revolutionary idea, and preaching the message as it is, and also using printing press. If you have seen that, 1900s, 1914 was the time when printing press was becoming popular. Newspaper, he made a newspaper, spiritual newspaper at that time. So when someone asks that, how could you get enough information every day to make a spiritual newspaper? Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that, if in this material world, you can make a newspaper of all the things. I mean, we don't like to read the news. Of course, before 50 years, how life was, to know that some news is read. But if someone gives us a newspaper of yesterday or day before, we don't want to see the news again. Such is the nature of the material news. But spiritual news is Nava Yavana. Every moment there is something new that's happening, right? So why can't, his answer was, why should I produce a newspaper a day? I would produce one a minute if I can. So that was his preaching mission. And he told Srila Prabhupada that if you ever get money, you print books. And he also told it to such an extent that if possible, I would take out the marbles. Of course, he only built a marble temple where, the idea itself was revolutionary, that people can, brahmacharis can come inside and stay in the temple, do preaching, follow Krishna consciousness. All this was revolutionary ideas of His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So, but he was telling that I'm willing to take out the marble slabs and sell them if I can make money to print books. So Srila Prabhupada says that I took it from his mouth that he's very fond of books. That's why I'm asking, where is books, where is books, where is books? And then Prabhupada says, print as many books in as many languages as possible and distribute it throughout the whole world. Then Krishna consciousness will automatically increase. So we can see Srila Prabhupada's journey to the West and his was under what circumstances. He didn't have money. He begged a free passage in a cargo ship, and he had 2 heart attacks and no one to support, no one to hear him. And he had no money to buy his own groceries, all alone, an old person. And what was in his mind? To try out. Let me try to fulfill the order of my guru. And what was the circumstances in which he went? Srila Prabhupada says in this lecture that one of his god brothers went to Germany or in the Europe to preach, and there was one Lord Zetland who came to him and he asked him, can you initiate me and make me a Brahmana? And then he said that, okay, but to make a Brahmana, you have to chant 16 rounds and follow 4 regulative principles: no meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication, and no gambling. And just by hearing this, Lord Zetland said, impossible. And this was what Prabhupada knew where he's going. So he's saying that, he's saying in his lecture that I know, but I was trying. Let me try to change the impossible. That was my mood. So he came and then he tried. And in the initial days, it was very hard. If you see that he himself says in the lecture that many times I used to go back to the shipyard to see when is the next ship to go back to India. And then those people in the ship company, they were asking, Swamiji, you're coming many times to check that when the ship is going back to India, but you're not going back. Because he would come back thinking that let me try. Let me try 2 more months. Let me try 2 more months. Against all odds, no visa, no place to stay. Was staying in, before he went to the 26 Second Avenue, and he had to share his room with a person who was addicted to drugs and who came to actually with a knife kill him because he was not in his senses. That Prabhupada came down and then he was staying in another person's house, Carl and Eva. And when Srila Prabhupada asked for water, that Carl's girlfriend would say, no, why don't you take it yourself? So Satsarup Maharaj writes in Leelamrita that never was there a time when he had such tough time. Prabhupada had a car and a servant. When he was born in a rich family in 1920s, having a car and a servant in the house is not a small thing. And he had always money, but he left everything. And even in India, he was a sannyasi, he had torn clothes, but he was not without any residence. Like here, he was under threat for his life and he had no money and nobody to listen to and also mistreated. All this, still he went ahead because what was in his mind was, let me try to fulfill the order of my Guru. So he said that my Guru Maharaj is always with me. One association is through Vapu. If you see, Srila Prabhupada got very less association in person. He had met his Guru Maharaj only a few times. No, not much. We are all fortunate that we have email and WhatsApp and this and that. We can talk to our spiritual masters, demand attention. This is so urgent. There's nothing there at that time. But he carried on the mission, the spirit. My Guru Maharaj wanted this. He wanted, he wanted that people all over the world take up this Krishna consciousness and he would be happy. I mean, in the song we saw, he's telling not only every town and village. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said every town, village, city, and even in the streams, in the rivers, in oceans, wherever there are living entities, let the holy names of uh, Krishna and Rama be spread. That was the desire of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and our Srila Prabhupada took up that and tried against all odds. And whenever, any press reporter asked also, he would say that, if at all there is any credit, I would, I just have tried to fulfill the order of my Guru Maharaj. And also we can see that he had 2 heart attacks, and the third one, heart attack and a stroke, when it struck in late 1968 during Memorial Day weekend, and nobody was available there. He said, put the picture of my Guru Maharaj, that was painted by someone. So, he would chant in front of his Guru, and finally when he came out of the hospital, he paid obeisances to the Guru, and he said to his disciples that actually my Guru Maharaj saved me. He's not an ordinary person. Many, many times. In one of the lectures also, towards the end, very hardly we can see that Prabhupada showing his deep affection and love for his Guru Maharaj. But in one lecture, we can see that he's breaking down and he's thanking all his disciples that actually all of you have been sent by my Guru Maharaj to help me in this mission to serve him and to try to please him. And there are many revolutionary uh, methods in preaching. One of them was dioramas. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in those days, he built, those was pre-cinema, pre-movie days. We can see early 1920s. Okay. So he made his disciples do dioramas, live, moving shows to present the dolls. They're called huge life-size dolls to explain the concept of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And seeing this, one disciple of Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Da, I think he made, correct me if I'm wrong, or somebody else, they made this museum where even now if you go to LA Temple, Los Angeles Temple, there is an audio visual museum that's one can tour it and see what is the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. One just enters in and comes out, will for surely know that Bhagavad Gita talks about you're not this body, you're a spirit soul. Very nicely done. And the TOVP also, the exhibits is a very big part of the temple. Because our temples, the vision of the temples being the place of, not only being the place of worship, but also being an active place of preaching, is very much current in ISKCON temples, we can see. And this is also the mood of TOVP, that 50% of the fund goes to explaining the concepts of Vedic cosmology and the exhibits. And, this is all following the footsteps of His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And finally, even at the last, when he wrote a letter, 15 days before he passed away, also he wrote to Srila Prabhupada that if you ever get money, you print books and distribute and preach in the English-speaking countries. And there's one more book by Moola Prakriti Mataji, where she interviews many early disciples of Prabhupada and also Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's disciples. So there, one Prabhu is saying how Srila Prabhupada got this dream again and again and again. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur came in his dream, and I think it was Sridhar Maharaj who was staying with him on the top of his house when Prabhupada was a grahastha. He allotted one room for preaching and hosting sannyasis. So he went and knocked his door at 2 o'clock the night, telling that give me sannyas right now, because this is the order. Our Guru Maharaj is coming in my dream and asking me to take sannyas. So at the age of 58, Prabhupada took sannyas, and then he dedicated himself for preaching and writing and taking the books with him to America. And that's when, even it is, I heard that Prabhupada did not come to India till 1971. And Brahmananda Prabhu told this, that it was actually Radha, Dwarkanath, deities in Los Angeles temple, that they gave Prabhupada the order that now go to India and preach. Because it was Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's Thakur's desire to preach in the West, in the English-speaking countries. Prabhupada was continuing that until he got an order from the deity to come to the temple, to come to India and preach in India. So then we can see that he made 3 temples in a very, very short time, and, employed all his energy and time and so many disciples in serving the mission of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So in 1936, so Srila Prabhupada said, wrote the poem, and that was published in the book, in the Harmonist paper. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave the instruction that whatever he writes, you publish. Because he could see that this disciple had caught my mood, has known my heart. In fact, one couplet, in impersonal calamity, thou hast removed, and absolute is sentient, thou hast proved. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur underlined that, because and then he said, yeah, whatever he writes, you publish it. And such a great scholar, he would look at the articles for publishing. Before reviewing it, he would look at it and he will say how many times Krishna is there in the article. If more times Krishna, the holy name of Krishna is there, he would say publish it. So that was his vision of, and the faith in the holy name. And if Mahaprabhu has told that Prithivite yate ache nagaradigram sarvatra prachare hoy by mora naam, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur kept this instruction and kept asking his disciples. Not only Srila Prabhupada, I've heard that he asked this to so many of his disciples, go to the West and preach. Because this, Prithvi doesn't mean only Bharatavarsha. That's what anyone would think at that point of time, right? How would anyone think that anybody other than, people who are born in India could take up this? But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says Prithivite, that means it's the entire world. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was, during his lifetime and after his manifested pastimes were over also, we can see how through dreams and through guidance, he was pushing his disciple. So Srila Prabhupada says that it's actually he preaching through his disciples and disciples and disciples like that. So although in 1936, at the age of 62, he re-entered the loving pastimes, his spiritual position is Nayana Mani Manjari. That when Radha and Krishna looks at each other with deep love, and the tear drop that is coming out of their eyes is Nayana Mani Manjari. Is a form of the servant who's serving the gopis, Sri Rupa Manjari, and she other gopis of Vrindavan. So we are, very grateful. Is a very, what can I say? How can we all come in this great, glorious disciplic succession, following in the footsteps of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur? And we cannot imagine what Srila Prabhupada and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Bhaktivinoda Thakur would have done at this age of social media. Where communication is so instant and easy, and how much they would have preached. So we can offer our humble, respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and his dear disciple and his disciples, and so many future generation of Vaishnavas also, praying at their feet that we can beg them to make us a recipient of their mercies, so that we can ourselves become pure devotees, continue in this path, and as they wanted, share this with others. Because Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, if you have life, then you should preach. So that was his final, not a final instruction, but a very, very prominent instruction. There are many, many quotes that we can read. It's coming, we would have received messages. How, his quotes are very stunning and revolutionary, coming from the heart. And he's also written this Brahma Samhita, the commentary to Brahma Samhita. His scholarly depth of the language as well as the subject, we can hardly, grasp what he's trying to say in Brahma Samhita. So we are very grateful. We prayed to his lotus feet to forgive the offenses and uses in his service, in the service of his disciple and our spiritual masters. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Avirbhav Maha Mahotsav ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Dear Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances to your so beautiful narrations of our dear Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. Dear Mataji, is there any book that on the life story of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada?
Yeah, I remember reading a book, The Ray of Vishnu. I think it's still on print. I'm not sure. You can check. It's a very nice book. And also, I mean, recently, this was 20 years back, but recently, His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj has written a very 3-volume book on the life, 3-volume set on the life and the precepts of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. I myself have not read it fully, but it is so deep, so thorough, and Maharaj, I mean, whatever I spoke is from the lectures of His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, and many other disciples of Srila Prabhupada who have been giving these lectures. So that's the 3-volume set is a comprehensive and in-depth life history and teachings of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
Thank you so much, dear Mataji, for letting us know that. May we get some opportunity to read that book. Dear devotees, if you have any question, please feel free to raise your hands. Oh, dear Priti Vilasini Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Lalitangi, Mataji, what a beautiful class. Thank you so much for covering Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's life history, right from his birth to Bhakti Vinod Thakur, I mean his parentage, and then also how he was his entire life and how he was a guiding factor in Srila Prabhupada's life, in our Prabhupada's life. So thank you so much. And I found 2 points very interesting, which I learned today. Just wanted to repeat what you taught us today. One is about how this Annakut ceremony, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati went and took the prasadam that was touched by the dog. So it just goes to say how potent prasadam is, it doesn't matter. He showed by like as an acharya. And the other point that I learned today is the meaning of Nayanamani Manjari. So thank you so much. Very interesting, detailed class. We always look forward to these classes of yours, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, and thanks to you and all the other coordinators for running this call and bringing so many speakers, okay, in Bhakti Sangha, and whatever I'm talking is what I've heard. So thanks to you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Priti Vilasini Mataji. And thank you so much, Lalitangi Mataji. Kanika, Govindan.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Mataji.
Pranams for such a beautiful class. Thank you for being our medium to such incredibly beautiful pastimes. Mataji, like I was just wondering that, in those pre-independence times, I noticed like all our mentors, these preachers, they were so brave, right? I mean, if you look at the backdrop of the political turmoil and how they really stood up because they had that faith in their conviction. In today's time, right? I mean, it's okay, we are in Kali Yuga and, we are engulfed with Maya and all of that is there, but we still didn't have, it wasn't as bad as like back then, right? When there were limited communication mediums, limited coverage, limited media, and you had to worry about even like the prevailing political mood. So at that time when people were so brave, how can we be maybe even 1/4 of that? How can we be that brave like this time in this era?
Yeah, that's my prayer too. We'll have to take it up, and seeing their lives and what they lived for, what they preached is we can take as an inspiration. and be brave in whatever situations we are in, and we can ask for their mercy to do that. And also we can see Prabhupada's disciples also, even now, our current spiritual masters preaching in very, even in places where it's not allowed, not publicly, and also even otherwise also, materialism is so rampant, and it's not easy to get a person's attention from material to spiritual path. And we can see that devotees around us are doing that, and we can all take inspiration from them, our spiritual masters and others. I know you're in Toronto Temple, and just the history of Toronto Temple is itself amazing, right? From 1972, continuing there, opening the temple and making it available for so many souls. And all this is possible by the dedication and hard work of many, many devotees. And one such devotee is Lalita Mataji, who's there in this call. Also, she has been in Toronto Temple for some time as a full-time devotee, distributing books and helping the temple. So we are grateful to them, and we try to follow their example.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Dear Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, can you please go ahead?
Thank you so much, Mataji, for the beautiful class. Thank you so much for that bhajan and reading the meaning and showing us how much love Srila Prabhupada has for Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much for glorifying. Very grateful to you. Hare Krishna.
Thanks to you, Mataji. If not for you, I wouldn't have heard all these lectures. So, and able to prepare something. So thanks to
You're
you.
very quick, Mataji. Very quick in hearing and preparing. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Avinish Prabhuji, can you go ahead?
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you very much for a wonderful lecture, very thorough study, and very inspiring too. 1 hour has passed like we were just started. We had just started. In fact, you are glorifying every Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Prabhupada. But how can we glorify you? You are such a wonderful inspiration to all of us. For the last 2.5 years or 3 years, we are listening to you every day. But it looks like that we get less time today. Your services are so great that many people will want to follow. Like we are very fortunate to have you in our association. It's wonderful, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for your words of encouragement. And I know you're a very senior devotee. Yourself have seen so many lectures and so many years, and your whole family is, but you're very humble to give me some words, and that's my encouragement, my humble obeisances to you.
No, Mataji, no words to appreciate you. We cannot glorify you. Like it's where we are very fortunate that we have you in our life.
Same here, Prabhuji. By all the association of devotees is what I am still able to follow. So I'm very grateful.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you once again.
Prabhuji, dear devotees, if you have any, Sudhakar Prabhuji, can you please go ahead?
Radhe Radhe Mataji, I was just listening to your lecture. I don't know where I am there, but to me, I would have to just say in a simple word, Hare Krishna. I think even if one word of your lecture inspires me, that will be my today. I don't know much books. I did not know much about the Bhaktisiddhanta Swami, but today by class, I came to know about his philosophies and how the devotee should respect the Guru or Guru Shishya Parampara. And we used to find excuses, right? Oh, I don't have, even to me, I don't have any Guru. But today, your lecture proved me that you don't need to have a Guru physically where you can talk daily. But if you talk, I think he will bless you. This is what at least I learned today. I really thank you from my heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. That's what I tried to imbibe from all the lectures that I've heard a little bit, Prabhuji. There's so many lectures there. Prabhupada's lectures himself are very nice, and also the others. And so we can all take advantage and hear that. Thank you.
Jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Mataji, our inbox is filled with appreciation. Like from the beginning when you were singing the bhajan, Latika Gaurangi Mataji is saying that's so beautiful and soothing. Mataji, I saw Mataji posting this comment when we were singing the bhajan. And then Nandapriya Narmada Mataji actually posted the link that the bhajan you were mentioning about talking to my Dushtamana and to me Kishore Vaishnava, that bhajan. Then Shilpa Mataji said you Hare Krishna. Preeti Vilasini Mataji probably sent the name Bhakti Siddhanta Vaibhava, probably the book that Bhakti Vikasa Maharaja has wrote, if I'm not wrong. And then Karnika Mataji has said, like, beautiful class, Mataji, as always, very motivating, uplifting to kickstart the day with these pastimes. Thank you. Thanks for being our medium. Harita Mataji said that Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandapat Pranam, very beautifully narrated Mataji. So many messages from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Hare Krishna. And Prahlada Prabhuji has sent actually the link of the book. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Latika Gaurangi Mataji says, thank you so much, Mataji, for really inspire us. Please accept my humble obeisances. Lalita Govinda Priya Mataji said, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. A very inspiring lecture. Hemangi Gopeshwari Mataji says, Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you for the nectarian class. Very grateful for your services. Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji says, thank you so much, Mataji, for your association and inspiration. Indulekha Karuna Mataji says, Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for singing bhajan very sweetly and for the wonderful pastimes of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So it's so nice to hear from you, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. Lalita Mataji and Dinabandhu Prabhuji.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, Mataji. If possible, can we, if Lalita Mataji is okay, if she can speak a few words, because, you know, she is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. And it's our fortune to hear her glorify Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, if Mataji is available and is okay.
Hare Krishna, Lalita Mataji, are you there? Lalita Mataji, Dinabandhu Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yeah, but they are not on video. Maybe she's busy in cooking or something, Mataji. Lalita Mataji, Dinabandhu Prabhu, can you hear us?
Yeah, but she's
they're
not
muted, yeah.
She's just not available right now. I'm sorry.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mataji. I mean, thanks to all the devotees, you know, my humble obeisances to all of you, and your blessings and words of appreciation. Please keep me in your prayers. That's my request. Thank you.
Dear Mataji, can I read what this is?
Mataji is there in the chat, so I think it's okay. I read everything and I'm very grateful for everyone, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, dear Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, dear devotees. Let's offer our obeisances to Mataji. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhu vaibhaja. Nanda Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Lalitangi Radhika.
Mataji ki jai. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.